Well, here's the real question: which booth do you think is the CCP's like undercover rodeo booth?
They're like, we love Texas. Country music #1. Can I just get canceled already?
Well, alright. Battle raps cause I've shaken grown men to the point that they can't even face their own friends. That's why they rhyme about jewels, not life, cause the ice on which they skating is so thin. That's what I love about the human soul.
Let's get it on. Well, we probably should have fucking centered the camera first, huh? Oh, well, fuck it.
What are you talking about? This camera's centered. Look at it.
Whatever.
Do I look at the camera or do I look at the TV?
You can look wherever you like. No one's watching.
Looking
anyways.
at the camera would be the most beneficial, but it's hard to do, and it doesn't take away if you don't. But looking at the screen is fine.
Do you have a preferred side? Do you like your left side, or are you right chin dominant? What's your? I like my left side personally. That's why I sit here.
I don't think I have a side.
I think this is going to be a kind of I don't know until the end type thing.
Well,
So
you
we're
can go back and review the tape and pick.
Well,
Let's
let's
do it.
yourself right now. Let's pick
Come
your
on,
side.
you got a strong jawline. I think both sides are good on you, my boy.
I think just eyes front is good.
Eyes front. There you go.
Yeah, eyes front is good. All right. Well, welcome back. The Strategy and Dolo Show, the Party with Strategy podcast, the greatest party on earth. I mean, I feel like we got names like the Fat Jews got names.
The greatest podcast on earth.
The greatest potty on earth.
Episode number.
It's 80.
You got me
It's a
confused with all the bonus episodes you've been dropping lately.
Yeah.
I don't even know where
I'm
we're
going
at.
hard, baby. I'm going hard in the paint.
Indeed, you are.
We're taking off.
So, we have a special guest today, Jarrett Gordon, the young and handsome
Some might say.
military veteran,
Hardworking.
Mr. Do-It-All at Bottle Blonde himself,
The Swiss Army knife. Some might say.
the Swiss Army knife of managers. I like that.
He's a utility player.
He's
that's
a utility
for sure.
and dangerous if you touch him the wrong way. That's the way that goes. Make sure when you're talking, you have your mic up to your mouth.
Okay.
That's right. Yeah. Keep the mic right there. Just check. Actually, we didn't even check the mics.
Oh yeah, we didn't. You just jumped right in.
I jumped
We
right
did.
in.
You didn't even spit on it first.
Wait,
or
let
anything.
Jarrett talk.
Hello.
Oh, we're live. We're good, baby.
We're good. We're golden.
We're checked in. Episode 80 is off to a great start. I feel like you and Dolo know each other better than I know you.
I would think so. I would say that's because Dolo and I have a lot of time to kind of pick each other's brains at
Yes,
times.
Saturday 2 to 6 shift.
Mm-hmm.
We're very acclimated.
You guys enjoy the same.
Yes, we like to look at
Media.
military porn of people dying, preferably Russian soldiers.
We have a lot of the same
Interests.
interests. Yeah.
Yes.
He likes lowriders. I like guns. Kind of one and the same.
I
If
like
you're-
guns too. To
Well,
be
if,
fair.
if you're a gun guy or you're a truck guy,
Most
or a car guy,
lowriders have guns in them, right?
yeah,
I
you
would.
want to protect your investment. Yes. So
they're expensive.
yeah,
Lowriders are like how much
guns are expensive as well. But yes,
ballpark? How much do you think you've spent in your in cars?
It's funny that you would say that because earlier this week I was looking at my bank account and crying, and I was thinking about how much money I fucked off on lowriders. Now, mind you,
Maybe we could get an on-screen tally going. If you want to
a
start,
bar graph. Or
I-
something.
start with the first one. We could add it all up.
we'll
for
just
you.
start off $60,000 in the drain with the first lowrider. Well, I mean, though I had it for a while,
Is that the one that burned down?
that
in the
burned up into
insurance
nothing.
scam?
Yeah, well, who
I
knows what
witnessed
the fuck
that
it
whole
was.
thing.
I wish it was an insurance scam. I would have got some money for it, but I didn't get anything. I got a fucking dick in my ass from State Farm.
He got a stint of depression. I mean, I witnessed this kid was down for the count.
He was.
I was
I mean,
there for the whole thing.
you were there for 3 years of me waiting for that car to get it done.
Right.
And yeah, but you know, after being on Sue Watch for a little while, I made it through.
So we'll say $500,000.
No, not that much. Probably $250,000. Maybe two. No. That's even still a stretch.
Well, here's the
under
thing.
200,000. Maybe around 200,000 right now.
Do we count the cryptocurrency loss because it was
Okay,
you
what
were
the fuck you got to
trying-
bring that up for? Are
Yeah.
you trying to fucking make me kill myself?
Crypto had a chokehold on everyone, and no one I know that was big into crypto is a billionaire now.
That's for sure. Or
Or NFTs.
Here's the thing. I was early in the crypto
Yo,
game.
my
all right?
boy was locked in, bro.
I had
Every morning he was tuned into a podcast, listening. You
I was
were
deep.
locked in.
I was deep.
Trying to
But I
figure
was
out the
up-
bull runs for the day.
I was up 25K at my strongest point.
And where are you now?
Well, I pulled out. I didn't actually end up losing anything except for the fact that I did lose 10,000 of my profits in the matter of 12 hours.
I would definitely say that's something.
That fucking sucked.
That's
all right.
something.
So the thing is, like, when you put in a sell, right? There's not. I mean, I honestly think a lot of it's bullshit because I put in a
it's
sell
fake
order.
money?
Well, no, it's real, but I think that they're just like fucking with people because it's not regulated as much as like the stock exchanges. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
just like it's a lot of companies just kind of like fucking with people. It's like a casino. You know what I'm saying? So
exactly what it is.
I put in a sell order, right? And because I knew this shit was about to tank. I knew this was like the first big tank.
Can you hit a vape on this?
Yeah, of course.
You can hit weed. You could smoke a crack.
You can hit women on this show.
Yeah,
I'm
you-
just
you-
kidding. I'm kidding.
You could literally do anything. you
I'm
want.
laughing at the delivery, not the actual content. You know.
Well, we're in Houston. It happens often. I've never seen anything like it in my life. We could touch on that later, but
So I put in the sell order. As you know, in order to sell, someone must be buying. So I will say there was probably a lot of people trying to sell. But the sell order took literally almost 12 hours to go through. And here's the kicker, right? When the sell order went through was right as it was going back up. So my sell order went through at the very bottom of the barrel and it instantly rebounded back. So just in that dip, and I sold it before it even started dipping, but for someone to buy it, it didn't come until it hit the very bottom and then it fucking shot back up. I was really hoping that there was a glitch and it wouldn't sell because I knew it was going to pop back up after, 10 hours of watching what's happening. But that's when I said, you know what, this isn't for me.
there was a lot of high highs and a lot of low lows, I feel like.
Yeah.
It was a good time to watch.
It was the
I'll
best
tell
of
you
times,
that.
the
Bro,
worst
I-
of
let me
times.
tell you,
Fun
I-
to witness.
It was the
I
best
remember-
of times and the worst of times.
I had my block portfolio on my phone, which would give me real time of all my holdings, what my earnings were like in real time. Like as each one goes up, it kind of give you a overall.
I will say this, Dolo, you, out of everyone I know that was big into crypto, you strike me as the least crypto invested person I think I know.
At the time, I was very invested.
Might be just me judging you based off of looks.
But Dolo's an early guy. Dolo's like my brother. Like he'll be onto something earlier than most
Before
people.
it's cool.
Like he's got his
Antennas.
face so deep in the
We're up.
streets. He knows. So like this happened before the shit. We're talking like what are we like 2018?
No, it was
17.
before that, maybe 17. Yeah.
Did you ever get into Bitcoin?
No, I mean, I played with Bitcoin a little bit. At that time, I was really into Ethereum and
It was early. I remember being like, "You're insane."
bro. I was buying Ethereum for like I want to say like $10 a coin or something. I was like early, cheap.
Yeah.
But anyways, so I remember like sitting there, and he at the time he wasn't on it. He's like, "Oh, that's all bullshit." He's a Jew, right? He doesn't trust much. So
I spectate for a while.
oh wow. So we would be like, I remember a few times, sitting there eating breakfast at Cozy Corner.
After the club?
No, in the morning, just like getting up.
In the morning, hangover cure.
And I'm just sitting there being like, yo, in the time that I ate this breakfast, I just made $600.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Did you pay for breakfast?
No.
Are you insane?
No, come on.
you
Nothing's real.
You were setting up like you were going to be a good guy. with that
Nothing's
600
real
just
until it's cashed out. Let's just leave it at that. You haven't made anything until it's deposited in your bank account.
Yeah.
So that's a little lesson for
I think that
for those
applies
investors.
to a lot in life, though.
Yeah.
You're not actually paid until it's in your account.
There's definitely a good
That's
couple
facts.
metaphors you can make there. I like that.
Maybe you could be with a girl, but if you haven't fucked her, you ain't really doing nothing but paying for a girl's dinner.
It ain't in your bank account.
Just a really good friend.
Just a fucking no, not. I wouldn't consider that a good friend. A good friend is not someone that you have to fucking
split
pay
the bill.
everything.
They
yeah,
Venmo you.
this is my homie. When we go out to eat, we split the bill.
50-50.
You know what I'm saying?
We split the bill.
It doesn't really work like that with vaginas, but
It is.
I wouldn't fuck strategy, so it's fair.
I don't know, man. I might go trans and then see how you fucking feel.
Yeah. Let's not go there yet.
Yeah.
Let's not go there just
Is
yet.
it too early?
We're 9 minutes.
We
in.
got bigger fish to fry here.
All right.
There's a reason why we have Jared on this podcast.
I do want to get to know Jared, and just to give you a little foundation, I definitely want to hear about the military.
Yeah.
Because I don't think I've ever had.
We've chatted about it, but not. I don't.
A
think
little
in great
bit.
depths.
Definitely not in great depths, but in all the time that me and Dolo have been doing shit on the internet. I don't think we've ever had like a veteran on, but we did
Never had a specialist. No.
a specialist. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So now that we do,
yeah.
let's talk Chinese hot air balloon
Yo,
reconnaissance
what's up,
stuff. What's going on right
You
now?
know what's actually funny is I was sitting at work, right, and I figured one of two things was going to come up: the Chinese hot air balloon or my take on the Ukraine-Russo conflict. So let's go ahead and kick it off with the hot air balloon.
Let's kick it off with the hot air balloon.
Break that hot air balloon down for me, because I've seen tweets of it and things, but I haven't really looked at a real article.
So
of it.
a lot of people are saying that it could be a weather balloon it's tracking weather patterns. It just happened to originate from China, but they're saying the more they look at
China.
it is equipped with a payload, not a munitions payload, so no bombs or anything like that, but for surveillance. And it just happens to be cutting straight across America, where, if you don't know, a lot of the American missile silos and
UCMBs.
Keep this mic. If you look at him, just take it with you. You know what I'm saying?
kind of like a point and go.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah.
A lot of America's
I think I said
missile
that
silos are located in the Midwest, directly where this is kind of floating over. You know,
Coincidentally.
if some people might said I had a tinfoil hat, you know how that goes.
I've never been one to wear
Should I throw it on?
I honestly,
I mean, you smoked your tinfoil hat on you
I'm
right
ready.
before you came in.
I'm ready.
people say you're crazy if you're putting all these pieces together, and then 10 years later, everything comes out, and they're like, "Oh yeah, you know,
Why didn't we see this coming?
the government actually was putting LSD in the water."
Okay,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
all right. So you sold me on it, right? Like I'm feeling like China's watching us.
Yeah. No, 100%.
We already know
what
they're
is-
watching us through TikTok, but okay.
It's not even a question. Like, I know, but as someone like, what would be the counter argument to that? What is the other side saying that this is? They're like, oh, it's not China. This is actually a weather balloon.
They're saying it's a weather balloon from China.
Yeah, saying it just straight its course because they have, like transcontinental winds, like wind streams that you can get caught up in, and it drifted over here. But they backtracked the course of it to launching from mainland China.
So there's really no counter argument. I mean, it's literally.
Well, I mean, that would be the counter argument is that.
but that's.
That's
What is that? There's a lot of. What is that?
In
that's-
1942, in Roswell, New Mexico, they also said that there was a weather balloon that went down, and people took it.
keep in mind, the world is what you make of it. If it turns out that it is a weather balloon, then you know what, we're all crazy. But the thing is, it's not adding up. It's not.
And I saw something, or someone was telling me about something. The predictions by military analysts are saying that by 2025 we will be at war with China.
Yes. So a 4-star United States Air Force general came out and released a memo. A lot of people think he had been drinking the night prior because this is just bonkers. The way he said it is he said, coming into 2024, Taiwan and China are both having elections. And China is going to capitalize on Taiwan having elections as a perfect time to invade, which is going to lead America into a direct conflict with the CCP. How true that might be, I'm not entirely sure, but they said by 2025, we would be at a full-scale war with them.
That's exciting and terrifying at the same time.
I mean, is this okay? Is this standard practice before you're about to go at war with someone? You fucking launch a little surveillance balloon. You're checking on what they got.
Yeah.
Let me see what's in these guys' fucking back pocket
Well,
here.
before you, I don't know if y'all played a lot of sports growing up, but before you go play the big
Volleyball, but I don't.
Before
Can't
you
really
play-
relate
What
war
play
to
volleyball? Did you play volleyball? We'll get back to that.
that makes a lot of sense. But all right, Zach, in your case, strategy. I apologize using your government name. Before you played the big Friday Night Lights volleyball game,
Yeah.
you watched tape of the other team, right?
Yeah.
Found out kind of what their strategy was, what their skills were, their weak points, their strong points.
Yeah.
You figured out what they're about.
You're mapping out a plan for your attack.
Exactly.
And they've been mapping us out and knowing that all we're going to do in defense is a stupid TikTok dance.
Well, keep in mind, TikTok is a Chinese entity.
Yeah.
Yeah. We all know about how the Chinese TikTok is different than the U.S. TikTok, and they're just feeding us the bullshit. They've been dumbing us down for the last 5 years setting up for this. So, you know what? I mean, they're playing chess. We're over here playing checkers.
Yeah. That is the definite scariest option for sure.
Well, here's the thing. There's a couple other things that if you want to look at the puzzle.
Yeah,
if you look
there's-
at a bunch of land grabs that have been going on, people have been buying parcels of property and farms and whatnot, cattle farms, corn farms. They're all shell companies founded out of China.
Shut the fuck up.
I swear to God. Look at it. They just
I did hear about
They
all
just
these-
blocked. They just blocked the purchase of a massive cattle farm 10 miles from one of America's Air Force bases.
See, because what they could do, since it's technically their private owned land, kill all the cattle,
Yeah.
choke up our food supply, turn it into a military base for them.
I don't know if you've ever seen a starved and hungry dog, but if you look at one way to truly attack a civilization, you go after, all right, what are the comforts that make, living in America great? Internet, phones, all that kind of stuff. Consistent food source. You can go down to the grocery store and spend $1,000. You start just picking away at all that stuff, cyber attacks, starving populations, that's fighting a war that you're not even there for.
Yeah.
All right, so you got all this information now, right? You feel like they're ready to attack. What do you do? How do you prepare? You get your own chicken?
You're gonna need a few chickens.
Realistically, in my opinion, and this is going to sound, a lot of people are going to think I'm crazy for this, but if you want to learn how to start like homesteading right now, like have your own little property out in the middle of nowhere, learn how to raise animals and live off the land.
But see,
This would be the time to do it.
I've thought about this, right? I've spent a good amount of time thinking about, setting up a farm for my family somewhere, because you can get it still for pretty cheap. Nobody really wants to live in the middle of fucking nowhere.
No one
But
wants to
check
live
this
in
out.
rural Kansas.
But check this out.
If you're from Kansas,
If there was a full-scale invasion, how safe are you going to be out there stranded on this fucking farm by yourself?
Nowhere, right?
If they
a bunch of troops come walking up on you, you're at the
Pop
crib,
you,
all of a
rape your
sudden,
wife,
That's
that's it.
There's only you
Take your
and
food.
your little family.
I will say this though, there will never be a risk of a mainland invasion.
See, and I've seen the talks about this because we're surrounded by bodies of water, but
We have the Rockies,
you have the Rockies,
the
right?
Appalachian Mountains.
But what about for the north? If they fucking coming through Canada, Canada's not going to put up. What are you guys talking about? Can't come through here.
The Canadians are the Canadian military, at least the Canadian people, good people. The Canadian military, those guys are
they equipped?
They're about it.
Are they?
They're about it.
I've never heard of a conflict involving.
You read
Canada.
about some Canadian guys in Iraq and Afghanistan. Those guys are getting it.
Well, yeah, okay, I can see that, but I'm saying as a whole, I feel like who's in prime minister?
Justin Trudeau.
Justin Trudeau is a fucking bitch. Let's just be real about it. I don't think he's putting up any fight. You've seen the pictures. We've all seen the pictures of Justin Trudeau at his parties.
Yes.
Do you really
Talking
trust
in
him
blackface?
to fucking deflect us from an incoming military
Those
superpower such as China?
The thing is, those are very incriminating pictures.
Yeah, it's hard to give those down.
You can't really say that's not me when everyone's like at that party. I was like, no, Justin, that was you.
Yeah,
We're talking about him in blackface, right?
that's one of them.
Is there other ones?
I've seen a
what
drag
else is
one.
there? Oh, there's drag.
I don't think I've seen that one.
I thought I saw a drag one, or what? He was definitely dressed. Well, I guess it's something that you might have worn, something not straight drag, but like a
definitely a lot of-
speedo kind of.
Imagine I run for any sort of political position.
Public office, you are being
The things on the internet.
ousted immediately.
Oh my god.
Yeah, there's no chance.
You would be arrested for. I don't know what the charge would be, but you'd be arrested for something if you ran for a public office.
Unless you were rich, because your boy Trump, he had a lot of bad stuff out there.
Not a lot of
And he was
video
able to
evidence though. Do you remember the YouTube video that we made on the boat where I pretended
yes.
like you dove into the ass and we had the
Yes,
little
yes.
fake hand and we was coming out like that's on the internet.
That's out there. My wife actually saw that, and
What were her comments on that?
I mean, she's pretty cool,
It's
but
pretty funny, though.
It's pretty funny.
It is funny.
But she was like, this is why I didn't date you for a long time, because I'd seen this, and I was like,
That's what it was?
Seen that? Like, she just assumed I was a whore, which was fair at that time in my life. I was probably a little bit of a whore, but
You're a DJ.
we had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It was, a lot of fun. Yachts and thoughts.
Yeah, yachts. Is that what it was called?
No, but I think it was Strategy and Dolo Take the High Seas.
Oh yeah. It's a good one.
Good times.
But yeah, there's a ton of things like that.
Actually, somebody speaking of old videos that would be incriminating. Someone I don't know if they tagged me. It just came up on my Facebook. It was like I don't know if it was 5 years or 6 years, and they were like, man, I miss when we used to party like this. And it was that video we did in Milwaukee, the checklist.
Yeah.
With fucking eating the cakes off the girls' asses and stuff.
Yes.
Keep in mind, a lot of people have spent years trying to not be recorded and pictured doing all this stuff, and y'all were purposely recording all these shenanigans.
Well, that's like, to me,
That makes us uncancelable a little bit.
Yeah, that's it. Like, that is when you are like a shock. It's like a shocking thing for a video like this to surface, because you've worked so hard to keep your public image so perfect, even though behind closed doors you were doing crazy shit.
Yeah.
Those are the worst people.
If you're publicly just a piece of shit, then
Well, yeah, they can't really.
what it is.
What are they gonna say? Oh, he's a piece of shit. I'm like, yeah.
kind of the point.
Yeah, exactly.
You laughed at my videos though, didn't you?
Exactly.
Yeah, like, we had a good time.
I mean, it's all comedy. No one was hurt in the filming. It was all fun. You know,
It is.
good times.
You know, it is what it is.
But back to Justin Trudeau, the bitch ass motherfucker.
We're not doubling back to China.
Yeah, we'll get to him.
We'll get back to it.
Justin Trudeau, what's your opinion about this guy?
Honestly, I don't know that much about him. For most people that know, I'm a very avid Second Amendment individual, and Justin Trudeau is the complete opposite.
Yeah.
Hates guns, doesn't want anyone to own them, all this, that, and the other.
Hates black people, too. Apparently. I mean, if he does blackface. That's my opinion. That's what I took from it. So I ain't rocking with him.
Yeah.
He's kind of boys with y'all's mayor in Chicago.
I think maybe
Lori Lightfoot?
maybe we could put him and Lori Lightfoot up in that fucking hot air balloon and just send them off to China. China! Send them back to China!
Could you imagine a picture of Lori Lightfoot in one of those goofy ass suits in the middle of like a Chinese wet market?
What suit?
What suit? What suit are you talking about?
Lori Lightfoot's fucking pantsuit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Sopping wet.
I remember when COVID was first coming around, and she dressed up. This was like when I knew COVID was going to be the most
destroyer.
absurd time ever. And she dresses up as a superhero with disinfectants and like bleach and shit like that. And I was like, that's how I know this is going to be fucking a tale for the ages.
It's like one of those teachers that when you were a kid, you were in like third grade, and your teacher was like one of those people that was like really believed in the superhero that she was pretending to be.
And you're just
she was a little bit goofy, and like you noticed that as a kid even.
Yeah.
Doesn't it feel like that? It feels like those
I had
people.
a bus driver like that.
Yeah.
What was his name?
Her name was Betsy. And Betsy, she was kind of the shit. She got fired.
For what?
Was she driving the bus drunk?
Yeah. So that's not confirmed, but I would believe it.
I know that.
There used to be this bump, right? And there was like this hill that kind of went down, and there was like a big bump. It wasn't a speed bump. It was just like a fucked up road that had like a jump in it.
And her liquor spilled out of the cup.
She would go fucking ape shit on it. She'd be like, all right, everybody get in the back of the bus. And everybody would go to the back of the bus, and she'd fucking floor it. And we'd be like, yeah. And people would like hit their head on the ceiling. It was fucking amazing.
You're lying.
I swear to God.
How old were you? What grade were you?
What year was this?
This had to be like 95.
Y'all didn't have seatbelts or anything, did you?
No, hell no. There was no seatbelts.
Love
Bro, we loved it. Kids would hit their head on the ceiling, and
She had to have been the best driver. Like everyone was like,
was the
"Oh,
shit.
she's your bus driver." I've heard stories.
dude, Betsy was the shit, and she like even took us like Discovery Zone at the end of the year. Like
Yeah.
she was the shit. But she would like even like they had like this is back when they had like CD players you could put on the speakers in the bus.
This is in Gary.
No, this is in Indianapolis.
Oh, okay.
And there's speakers on there. She would like play Snoop Dogg. Like Doggy Style was a big album at the time. And
that's your shit.
Shout out, yeah, hell yeah. Shout out to Betsy. I don't know if she's
That's
definitely
so
not
lit,
watching, but
Wherever you are, Betsy, I hope you're still hitting that bump.
yeah, she's probably hitting some bumps for sure.
those were only her early bumps.
Yeah,
she's
she's-
moved down to bigger and better
She's been
bumps.
hitting bumps for a while, I think.
Good for her.
But yeah, shout out to Betsy. So yeah, I don't know how we got it straight, but let's get back to China.
China.
What's their plan of attack other than their obvious cut off our food, cut off our intelligence, cut off our internet?
Honestly, I'm not entirely sure. I mean, I try to read a lot about it, but I feel like there's just so much. Like China's massive. China is a massive, massive government, military, population.
Yeah.
They've got their hands in everything from tech to cars to everything. It's really hard to give a definitive answer.
But we're really tied in with China.
Are we tied in?
We are tied.
Or do they
in
own
deep
us?
with China.
I think is a more.
I mean, they kind of, in a way, you could maybe say that, but let's say we're riding down the middle here. We're not leaning too hard right.
We're not saying
We're
China
in cahoots
owns us.
with China deep. Like our financial system, our stock market, everything's tied in
Production.
with China. All of our production is done there. So
They don't really want to fuck up their money.
exactly, they don't. I mean,
But at what
I
point-
think that yes, they want to take over, and yes, maybe they are planning some kind of an attack, but I don't think it's going to be war like soldiers on the ground killing. I think it's war like deploying TikTok, and war like just slowly creeping in and getting into the system, getting into the upper hand of things and changing the way
Chipping it away.
I think they're
shipping
trying to
everything
break
away.
us down and break down our structure and break down our. I believe. Okay, I'm not one to wear a tin hat, but I think the same thing with Russia. I think a lot of what they've been doing, a lot of the shit that we've seen over the last 5 or 6 years, where we just see shit that's like that doesn't make any sense, and like you see people going crazy and doing stupid shit, and like what the fuck is going on? I think a lot of that is by design.
Yes.
And they're kind of like. They send in like maybe a stupid meme that like they know is going to trigger people to think some way about government. Like if there was ever a time that we were not a patriotic nation,
It's right now.
It's right now.
I would say this is the most divided. Keep in mind, I'm 24, so I haven't been through the years and the generations and whatnot. But some of my youngest memories are like 9/11, when the entire country was one.
oh fuck yeah, everybody had an American flag hanging out.
The first football game, or the Yankees Red Sox game, where every single person sung the national anthem. Big Papi's on the mic, shouting about how we're America and this, that, and the other. That was when America was one. We were
sure.
the United States of America.
For sure.
And right now, I feel like
Divided
everyone's
States of America.
divided States of America.
It's really sad to see.
I would honestly even go to say divided individuals of America.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to be an individual now.
Because it's not even like states are red or blue anymore. And like every person you meet is different. You know what I'm saying?
You never
And
know.
people are so far to each other. I was never even a political. I'm gonna be honest. I never even fucking voted. Okay, I never gave a shit about politics.
Why
but-
didn't you vote? That's your civic duty.
I know that's what they say, but here's the reason why I never voted.
I've still never voted.
Because I don't believe that
Not
it's.
forever.
I don't believe that it's actually. I don't believe that there.
That your vote matters?
Well, I won't even say that. I'll go even further, and I'll say I don't believe that it's a just system. I don't believe that our votes truly get tallied the way we think they are. I mean, if you look at, listen, and I'm not a huge Trumper. I fuck with Trump, but I'm not like a Trump America 2024.
Would y'all have Trump on the podcast if possible?
Fuck yeah! Are you kidding me?
Are you kidding me?
Absolutely.
Fuck yeah, I'd have him on the podcast. I'll have Joe Biden on here just to make fun of him. But this is what I'm saying is like, this guy got the most votes in the history of the world, like
And-
ever.
I've always felt that way since I was 18, since I could vote. I was like, it doesn't matter. Whatever's going to happen, they're going to make happen.
Exactly.
If they want somebody in, they're going to put him in.
Exactly.
Joe Biden. If they want somebody out, they're going to get him out.
Trump.
It's like, why even?
Why even get yourself wrapped up
Yeah,
in the fucking
it's like-
bullshit? But
I try and stay out of it.
now once they told me I couldn't work and put me out of work, that's when I said,
It's kind of
maybe
a problem.
Politics kind of matter a little bit.
I will say this. I didn't really get big into politics. And I would even say I'm big into politics now. But I didn't care one way or the other. I just kind of believed what my family believed. And
Yeah.
this, that, and the other. My grandmother is a very old Republican.
My
so-
father's a hardcore Democrat.
Yeah, so I just voted for who I was told. But then after that, like Dolo said, once they said, you can't even go to the gym, put your mask on, that's when I was kind of like, you know what? I think America as a people need to get their nuts back.
Yeah.
That's definitely when it all started coming together for me more. I'm like, you got to pay attention now.
Yeah, you don't have a
Now that
choice.
it's
Before
really
you could just
affecting
kind of
you.
look the other way and things are just the same. But it's so extreme now because, like, look, as soon as Trump is in office, he signs on all these things, right? As soon as Biden gets in office, he signs on all these things. It's not like, before people just kind of came in, kept the lights on, made sure there was no problems, move on, pass the baton.
Kind of like
now
opening a bar. You come in, you make sure everything's there, the money's out.
That's what it was, right? But now it's like you got such oppositions on both sides of the parties that, like, when they get in, they're like, we got to change the color of the lights, the rebranding, we need to change everything. You know what I'm saying? And that's That's what's so fucked up.
If you want to hear something crazy about it, you know how we were just talking about China's weather balloon taking pictures and everything, kind of feeling out where America is?
Yeah.
That's what the government was doing during COVID with the American people. They're seeing how much we can chip away at before they start saying that's enough.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
100%.
Tests and waters.
Could definitely be a test.
I mean, that's how you
100%.
kind of get anything in life. That's the fucked up thing, is the system is just fucked that way. It doesn't really matter who's in place. If you have some power, you have to see how far your power goes. You have to know what power you have.
I think that's
How else do you do it?
I think that's a basic human instinct because my daughter, right, 17 months old.
Yeah.
Every day she'll do something and I'll say, "Don't do that," and she'll like do it again and watch me just to see like what's going to happen.
Severe it is.
Yeah, like how serious are you about this? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's a little bit more difficult than with a boy. You can just smack the shit out. Girl, you got back.
Yo,
Please, sweetie.
speaking of getting smacked by your dad, my fucking father screamed at me, bro. I'm 33. I haven't
This past weekend?
like yesterday.
Oh, on the
Wednesday
phone?
night on the phone, screamed at me.
How'd it make you
I mean,
feel?
when's the last time you got screamed at?
I don't know if my dad could even do it at this point. And he's getting old.
Dude, while it was happening, I like was like taken out of my body, and I was like, I forgot that this dude even existed.
Transported back
Like-
to your 13-year-old
like,
years.
yes, dude. I was like, holy shit, I haven't been screamed at by somebody like this forever, since I was a kid.
I scream at my son a lot, unfortunately.
Dude.
What did you do to piss him off?
He's helping me get this work done on the second floor. So he got these guys, and like my dad was a general contractor his whole fucking life, most of it. So I trust him completely. I'm like,
Like, very
whatever.
handy
Like, if
individual.
you're doing this for me, thank you.
Right.
Like, this is amazing. But then he hits me with the price on the day of and lets me know that these guys want fucking $700 a day for 5 days of work. And this is something that in all of the work I've had done in my crib, dude, Jerry
Jerry used to do it for the low.
the low, but he was quick and he was fucking good.
Yeah.
And he's amazing. And like, if I were to have Jerry do this, he's one man and he could do it in 3 days without question.
Where's Jerry now?
He's doing all sorts of work, dude. All these workers are so sought after right now. Everyone's like,
No one wants to
redoing
work
shit.
anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But so my mind is blown. I'm like, there's two guys. This is costing me. I'm paying two guys, and it's getting done in a longer time for more money than it would have with one guy. I'm like, I can't figure it out. And so I call, and I'm like arguing with my dad. Or I'm like trying to tell him, like, what? No, this is insane. And he's like, no, that's the price. They're there. Should I tell him to leave or not? And it's like this whole fucking thing. And he starts getting mad at me because I'm like, he's helping me out.
Yeah, but you're
I'm like,
being a bitch about spending the money.
yeah, because I'm like, I literally feel like I'm getting raped. I feel like these two fucking Polish workers put a fucking ski mask over my face and they put me in the living room of my empty second floor apartment and are just fucking Eiffel Towering me right now.
That's what goes
how
through
I
a
feel.
Jew's.
That's what that feels
That's
like.
what goes through a Jew's mind when they have to spend money.
$3,500. That is $3,500, and that's what that equates to.
That's like 2 months' rent. Like,
Dude, it's just, I can't, the concept, I don't get it.
You're like
'Cause
sweating
Jerry-
right now.
Jerry,
sweating right now.
Getting work
Jerry
done.
could have done it for 1200
come back.
days.
Come back,
What
Jerry.
the fuck?
It's really Jerry's fault your dad yelled at you.
Yeah, you should take it out on Jerry. Nah,
But
poor
whatever.
Jerry.
So I know he's mad. He texted me. He said, "Zach, enough," with like 7 exclamation marks. And I hear his voice now. When he says enough, like, Zach, enough. You like I know
That's
I know
it.
where he's at.
That's it.
So I'm like, all right, I don't want to text him anymore because this is gonna be bad. So
Yeah.
I call him, thinking I can like
Talk him down.
he can hear the distress in
Yeah,
my voice.
understand where you're coming from.
And I'm like, Dad, I just don't understand. Like, please, like, explain it to me at least. You know, like, I can't get it. It's like a math problem that I can't get. And now he just gets fucking pissed, bro, and loses it. Like, you know, when someone loses it and you know that they are no longer there.
Yeah, their eyes are twitching.
They're gone. He's screaming. I'm just like, oh, I was like,
blood curdling.
yo, I forgot about this dude.
Yeah.
I was like, yo,
You
this
awoken the
guy-
beast. The Kraken was unleashed.
It was insane. It was insane. I was like, I'll pay you $3,500 to go back into the basement and never come out again.
Yeah.
You let him do it. It's over. We're done.
Did you think about that for like when you were getting in bed?
Bro, I've been thinking about it since it happened.
Have you talked to him since?
Yeah, he literally he called, apologized right after. He's like, I'm so sorry, like this and that, blah blah blah. But like, it was fascinating almost. Like I fucking forgot.
Like it still lives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
The last time I've been yelled at like that, I think it's been a while. It's definitely been a while.
It's invigorating a little bit. I kind of liked it.
I'm usually the one that has to do the yelling.
Yeah.
My son usually does something to piss me off. And I love my son. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, I understand where your dad's coming from.
I do too. I mean, like when someone can push your buttons like that,
And it's not even that my son pushes my buttons. It's just that I'm like, I try and explain things to him with logic, and he retaliates with like emotionally driven whatever, or like I'll tell him to do something, and like I've told him like for the last 17 years to do something, and he just neglects to do it, and it makes me fucking go.
That's how you know you're getting
That's
old.
fatherhood
Yeah.
shit. Bro.
That's fatherhood shit.
It is.
Yeah.
I am old enough to be your dad
I mean, yeah, technically.
in Kentucky.
He has
Yes,
the training as well. He has the ability, the skill set.
Yeah. If you had a kid at like
12.
I thought you were 40.
No, I'm not 40.
Come on, man. You're gonna do my
Damn,
man
dog.
like
I
that?
know, I-
Not on
I
fucking
fucking
government
forgot.
name
On live
and drop his
television?
age.
All right, we'll bleep it out. Don't worry
I'm
about
37. I'm 37.
it. Okay, yeah, so I would have been 13. You would have been 13.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Stranger things have happened.
I'm not saying it's never been done before, because it probably has. There's probably some 13-year-olds
It's
running
happening.
around.
My
with kids.
what's that?
It's happening right now.
Oh, my neighbor
Yeah.
was 14 when she had a baby.
Yeah, I think my mom was 16 when she had her first
Oh,
kid.
back in the day? Yeah, that was... Well, actually, I say back in the day. I was probably... this was in the 90s.
Yeah.
No, this was in the late 90s when you were born, right? 97?
Yeah.
You were fucking in 97.
I'm not saying I am your father. I'm just saying we have some characteristics that
You
look
guys
like...
both love the same videos.
That we do. Who knows?
Hey.
Maybe in an alternate world, Dolo's my dad.
Hey,
It's okay, son. I love you.
Just don't yell at me.
I won't. That's only for the biological kids.
no, you need that. You need that. Someone has to do that.
Yeah.
Someone has to remind you that is, in fact, a result that could happen in this world.
Yeah.
What, being yelled at?
Yeah, like
Well,
getting
really,
blown up
yeah.
on.
Oh, yeah.
That is like whatever that was is the same thing that happens to somebody when they're gonna when they want to go shoot someone. My dad's he's not gonna shoot me. He wants to yell at me. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever that thing is when the top pops off and you're fucking like, oh, I lost it.
There's
like
no going back. Absolutely
most people
not.
yell. There's no going back.
Yeah.
Some people fucking pull a gun out and shoot because they're not as educated.
Some may say that's a problem with the TikTok generation. They haven't been yelled at enough.
Yeah. I think a lot of people don't get disciplined or even, Did y'all get hit with a belt growing up?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't get hit.
I got the shit. Yeah. Belt.
Wire
sometimes
hangers.
catch the buckle.
The little thing that you do the blinds with?
Yeah.
That was a fan favorite with my mom.
I'm trying to remember what all objects I was beaten with. Just whatever was.
Hand.
Usually it was hand or belt. Yeah.
Within arm's reach kind of type thing.
Yeah. The belt was always on my pop. So when he fucking took that thing off,
You heard it crack?
yeah, he give me the whole fucking whap. And then if I still was fucking up, that's when you got it.
That's raps. That's the sound of a gun loading. Like,
And the thing is, like, when you get hit with a belt, you can't like a hand. You can like swat at it. With a belt, you catch that motherfucker in the hand.
it's gonna hurt just as bad.
You gotta just take it.
Yo, so did you do things knowing like what? Like you're like, all right, I'm gonna fucking do this, but I know I'm gonna get hit with the belt, but I still.
No, I always thought that I would get away with it.
Oh, okay. You were like, I'm gonna. Okay,
Yeah, I was like, nah, I got this.
Plan is
Yeah,
foolproof.
yeah, for sure.
Okay,
For
okay.
sure.
Okay.
I had the rationalization at a young age. I was like, I'm gonna do this, but I'm gonna get my ass whooped when I get home from school.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's worth it.
Eventually, the ass whoopings don't hurt as much. Like around like third grade, then you're like, I don't really.
Your
give a
ass
fuck.
is calloused.
Yeah,
just
you're
from-
like. I mean, it's just a whooping. You'll be all right.
It is what it is.
After a couple hours, it doesn't hurt anymore. That was my logic, and that's when I was off the. That's when there was no stopping, because once I got to that point, then it was like, what's a teacher gonna do?
Yeah.
Like, I got paddled by a teacher. You want to know how old I am? fifth. Was it? No,
I never
no,
got
it was
battled by a teacher.
third grade. I was because so there was like a tier like of things you would do, and like it got to the point where it was like expulsion, right? So they were like, we're either gonna expel you or you're gonna take the paddle, and the paddle was like legit this big fucking wooden board with holes in it,
Drilled out for a little bit of airflow.
straight the fuck up.
Those are the
Real
good
thing.
ones, man.
Pine Tree Elementary.
Yeah.
Okay.
They make
And-
it out of pine as well.
No, maybe I don't know, but then I remember I had to go to the principal's office, and it was like it wasn't until like the last period of the day, and my mom had to come and sign off for this. This was like a real
And
thing.
you got to spectate it?
Yeah, and
That's
you know
insane.
the sickest thing is, my second grade teacher came to watch too.
You had a crowd come to watch you
Yes!
get paddled. You were such a
There was
bad
no-
fucking
You know
kid.
when they got you, word spread. They were
Oh,
like,
they're
we
like,
got
fuck
fucking
yeah.
stand.
They're like, we're gonna fucking.
He's getting his ass whooped right now. Let's
Anthony,
go.
They're like, fuck yeah.
They
I'm coming.
probably went out to happy hour after
for
and
sure.
they're like, fuck that
But,
kid.
when I knew that my second grade teacher, when she was standing there, I was like, why the fuck is she here?
Who told
And I was like
you?
crying. I'm like, this is bullshit. And I was like, Mom, are you serious? And she's like, is that how you get expelled? And I was like, fuck. And so, yeah, they cracked into me like 2 or 3 times. It didn't do anything.
Did she learn
I
from
just
it?
know it was worse the next year.
Yeah, man.
But yeah,
That's so good.
you
Yeah.
guys never got paddled, huh?
I
No.
didn't get paddled.
No.
Your brother might have got paddled. He was older, right?
He didn't. Yeah, but he didn't get paddled for sure. He didn't get paddled. He got hit a couple times. My dad definitely hit him, maybe once. I've seen my mom try and kick him. I've seen him make my mom so mad where she gets to that point where she like wants to kill him, but she's like, I can't do anything
Can't
to
kill
him.
your own
What am I
offspring,
gonna-
yeah.
Or like, what am I gonna? I'm a girl. Like, I'm
Oh,
not
yeah,
gonna
that
punch
too.
a 17-year-old teenage boy. What's that gonna do? You know?
Yeah.
She was like so mad that she kicked him one time.
Yeah.
And then he probably just went up to his room and laughed about it.
No, he fucking probably took a picture off the wall and fucking threw it at the other wall and kicked the door open. He was
Yeah.
a wild boy.
Yeah.
Sounds like
He
it.
was a wild
Sounds like it.
Shout out to Brandon.
Shout out Brandon.
Yeah.
Man, childhoods. There's something else. There's something funny to hear.
I forgot all about that. That's crazy. Yeah, that's the magic of a podcast. It digs up repressed memories.
Yeah.
Did I say so? It might have been 4th grade. I'm
Sometimes
gonna have
not
to
the
talk to
best,
my mom
but they're
if I get
definitely
the
funny.
details. I got to get the details from my mom.
Those kind of memories are like fine wine.
Yeah.
The more they age, the funnier they get. They might have been horrible at the time, but when
Yeah.
they come out a couple of years later, you just laugh
I'm
about
pretty
it.
sure they don't do that anymore. Paddling. kids.
Paddle kids?
Yeah.
No, absolutely
No,
not.
Hell no.
no, there's no chance.
They teach gender studies.
Yeah. They'd have been like, he's probably just confused and really wants to be a woman. I'm like, no. They'd be like, dress him like a woman. Like, no.
Give me the paddle. What happened to the paddle?
Oh, Jesus. So let's talk a little bit about the Russian conflict in
Good stuff.
Strategy's favorite thing.
this is my favorite part of the show because this is obviously you have some background, so your opinion on these things is a little bit more valid. But for us, it's kind of like politics from an idiot's perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what's the current situation going on over there?
So I'd say it's a pretty grim situation at times. It's definitely both sides are both getting their asses kicked, and it's more so of who's going to quit first, or if old Vladdy is going to pull out the old low yield nuclear weapons that he would use specifically on Ukraine.
A low yield
As
would
he
be
said.
enough to take out Ukraine, right?
No. Low yield, I would say, is more like cities, like small cities.
He's already breaking war crime laws, right? By dropping the dragon's breath and all that shit.
Yeah. You're technically not supposed to use like thermobaric weapons on people. It's like white phosphorus to catch whatever they touch on fire, and you're only supposed to use them on like transportation, stuff like that, like supplies, not people. Big.
He's using them on residential areas.
Yeah, on like cities, homes, and apartments.
Now, is this like a tank that this thing is attached to, or is this like
No,
a backpack unit?
It
that
looks like a big
somebody's
firework.
No, so it's employed using jets. It's an airborne munition. So it's like a missile or a bomb that they drop, and at a predetermined altitude, it opens up and then spreads across the area.
It's like a bed of flames.
Think of a confetti popper, but it catches you on fire.
Okay.
Yeah. So like when you see those fireworks that like light up and they kind of look like a weeping willow tree, it looks like that.
Yeah.
But the shit keeps going to the ground, and once it touches anything, it catches everything on
And
fire.
you guys have seen videos
Oh yeah.
of these.
Oh, we watch a lot of videos of it.
I've seen plenty of them. Honestly, if it wasn't being used on people, white phosphorus is a sight to see, like in
It
real life.
kind of looks beautiful, except for burning people.
Yeah, it is. But that's kind of the horrors of war. Sometimes, you see stuff that would be beautiful if it wasn't causing death and destruction. And
There's beauty in everything.
yeah.
I mean, people play Call of Duty, right?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't
It's
say
funner when it's not real people, though.
war is far from beautiful, but I would say there's definitely,
There's something not tantalizing. What would you say? It's like it's interesting. It's something
Well,
you
it's
want to.
definitely interesting. It's like any tragedy. Any tragedy you want to see.
Yeah, you want to
You're
see a
drawn
car
to it. You
crash
wanna
or something.
Look at what happened. You go by. You like.
sunsets as well. Like, you might see a badass sunset, but you're in the middle of a conflict zone. You're like, wow, this would be a beautiful place to be if I wasn't in the middle of a war.
Yeah, I mean, even like some movie, like what was that? Like when they would show the Kuwait fires back in like the Persian Gulf War, it kind of looked dope. Like looking at all these like fires in the distance through a desert.
All the oil wells burning.
Yeah. But then it's like in reality, it's like that's a fucking killing field.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah. Horrible. War is horrible.
definitely horrible, but inevitable, unfortunately. So what's
Some
your
might say.
take? Do you think Russia's going to tap first, or do you think they're going to drop the old?
No, honestly, I don't know at this point. It's just kind of, each day they're reporting more and more casualties, and I feel like each side is growing more and more desperate. And it's going to be kind of just a war of attrition almost, like who gives up for it first. And that's going to be the deciding factor. But you got to remember, Ukraine's fighting for their land and their families. Like, that would be like if y'all were fighting for Chicago. Very similar, I guess.
Well, we kind of gave up that fight. We showed that we threw in the white flag and we're refugees.
Political refugees, my boy.
That's why we're here.
That's how it goes.
That's exactly
That's how it goes.
It's kind of crazy because I see now, you know what I'm saying? Like when you see like, I don't know, in a little Haiti or something, right? They're still proud Haitians, but they're in Miami. And you're like, well, if you love Haiti so much, why don't you go back to Haiti? It's kind of the same thing with us, right? We love Chicago and we're proud Chicagoans. But at the same time, we're like, we're not really trying to go back right
It's
now.
a shitty place to be.
Yeah, I feel like that kind of applies to everything, no matter where you're immigrating to. It's like, I love where I'm from. I love my heritage and my culture. But, if there's better opportunities where you're going, definitely go out and chase those.
For sure.
That should be an attainable goal for everyone.
Yeah.
Some might say.
So if you're a DJ from Chicago watching this, just don't come to Houston. Go to fucking LA or something.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't say LA either. I feel like there's an overflow of DJs there.
Yeah, there's definitely always been an overflow of DJs in LA. It's not really a club city like you would think it is. Chicago's a club city. Miami, big club city. Vegas, club city. LA, party city.
Yeah. Small parties.
Small parties,
Yeah.
niche crowd.
Very exclusive.
Yes, somewhere in the hills, no one else is invited. That doesn't have 10,000 or 100,000 or more followers. What?
Speaking of DJs, I want to know, because you're new to nightlife, right?
Yeah, I've been in it for like, what is it, a little...
Probably over 2 years now. a little
Yeah,
bit.
over 2 years, coming up on my
Which is-
third.
It's pretty new.
Yeah.
And you
In the
didn't-
grand scheme of things.
in the grand scheme of
Yeah,
things,
yeah,
for sure.
most definitely.
I want a new ear. I want this question I have for you about DJs is like, if I were to ask someone who's been doing it for 25 years, I feel like their ear is already tuned to whatever it is tuned to because they've been doing it for so long. I want to ask a fresh pair of ears. Like, before being in this scene, had you ever paid attention to DJs before, like a DJ mixing, like, because some people just have no idea what's going on up there.
I would say there was times, like if I went to a certain place and I didn't know any DJs before, I started working in nightlife.
Yeah.
So I'll say, there's sometimes I was like, a song would catch my ear and I'd be like, oh yeah, this DJ's pretty good.
Yeah.
But now it's like, that's just one part of the machine. That's one gear in an entire machine that's turning. whether you look at the DJs and the lights and the bartenders and the waitresses and
Yeah.
the people coming in and everything like that. It's all part of their own little ecosystem.
Yeah.
And I'll say now, definitely working in nightlife, like when, I always try to compliment y'all when y'all have a really great set. I'll say, hey, I think it's really fucking good set of y'all's, because now I can listen. I can hear the energy, go up and then come back down, start resetting the room, then come back up. You have those big drops and everything, and I think you can really tell now. The more time you spend around it, the more apparent it gets.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, of course.
For sure.
Yeah, because this is a DJ podcast. There's some DJs I watch. So when we have a manager in the room, I like to ask, like, what do you look for in a DJ? And I wanted to hear from someone who's really taking it in. Not somebody who's already setting their steps. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I would say what I look for, or what a lot of people look for, is that you can read the room. You know when to play like high energy stuff. You know when to switch up genres. You can't play unless you're like doing like a house set, or it's like a techno club or something. You gotta be able to switch it up a little bit, and finding that good switch up is like the right amount of seasoning. You don't want to just put too much garlic and salt in a dish. It's not going to taste as good. You want to make sure all the proportions are right, and you got to be able to know when to go high energy, low energy, and just keep that going. You never want to have like a hiccup in it. So as I've noticed, I would say y'all are very professional DJs. All the DJs we work with are very professional DJs. They're all really great in their crafts, and you can tell they each have their own different styles, but it's all got the same ingredients.
Okay.
And I'll say it's always a pleasure to see, especially when we have new DJs or guest DJs or something. It's always interesting to see how they do things compared to y'all, because I know y'all style.
Yeah.
And if I see a new DJ, I'm like, okay, he's still doing the same things, just a different way.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a different order, maybe different songs, but the same emotion he's getting from them or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Still trying to, same goal.
Manage a room and keep people spending money.
Exactly. Because without the music, it's just,
Yeah.
there's nothing.
Can we talk about the unsung heroes of nightlife?
Who are they?
Drug dealers.
Yes.
No, I'm just kidding. I was gonna say light techs, but I mean either one of them could really
Shout out
fit.
Thomas Ducote, best light tech in the city.
I thought you were like
the Raging Cajun.
Not to be confused with a drug dealer.
Right.
No.
We gotta put that in there.
He is a light tech, and he is the best.
Yeah.
He definitely has proved time and time again why he deserves to get paid.
Yeah, Thomas is good.
Some of the other guys that come in and sub in, not so much. Not all of them will go ahead
What was
and.
last Saturday?
Last Saturday was Tommy was back.
Yeah.
Oh no, I mean the one before we left for Chicago.
We're gonna talk about that. Well, let's not get into it. Let's just go ahead and say it wasn't Tommy, and we're happy he's back.
Yeah, hell yeah. Tommy's the man.
Yeah, Tommy is. I will say this. That's one of those things a lot of people don't notice is the lights.
Until they suck. And
Yeah,
then you notice.
exactly. It's hard. It's that would make them the unsung heroes because they don't get praise. People aren't like, damn, these lights are amazing.
No one comes up and is like, yo, you killed it.
Right.
And he would know because, as we said, he's a jack of all trades, right?
Mm-hmm.
He often covers the lights. Now, he wasn't the reason the lights weren't good 2 weeks ago. He was bartending, which is another.
The kid does it all.
Right?
We're not lying.
He does it all. But when he does the lights, he actually does a really good job. I'm not gonna. It's not like he does them good enough to like keep them on. He actually enjoy.
I enjoy it.
Yeah.
I figure this in everything I do. Moderation is for cowards. If you're gonna do something, do it to the best of your ability, or don't even fucking bother doing it.
God bless that. Let's put that on your gravestone.
Please.
Hopefully, I am not still around by the time you kick the bucket. But if I am, I'll make sure it gets done.
This applies to everything. There's nothing worse than someone who doesn't care about what they're doing.
That's for sure. Yeah, and unfortunately, there's a lot of people that are like that. They just want to come in, do the very bare minimum, get their check, and go jerk off
And
or play video games. I don't know.
It applies to everything. I mean, if carpenters who build shitty tables, I don't know.
Same thing. Yeah.
They just want to churn out as many shitty tables as they can.
You know who's good at doing that? The Chinese. They love just fucking mass producing bullshit. This is
Little gadgets like
that's gonna be my new
gadgets.
favorite. After this fucking military balloon got, my new favorite thing is bashing Chinese. So just get ready for it. And it's not in a racist way, okay? Because I love Asians, but just Chinese conglomerate of superpower.
The CCP.
Yeah, the CCP.
Yeah.
So that way I'll be their first target when they invade. They'll be like,
Yeah.
this
I mean,
motherfucker.
if you say it enough times into the internet, they'll find you.
Yeah, oh yeah. They probably already got a little thing out there that just catches those 3 letters and just fucking
it's
owns
unbelievable.
in.
Dude, the way that my phone knows me, and that information is all information that is, these apps are allowed to capture and sell and whatever, everything you fucking sign up for. Like, I feel like my phone knows my rhythm, my pattern, my.
Oh yeah.
Like,
It knows you better than
going
almost you do yourself.
I'm going to Uber Eats, at 10 p.m. scrolling, and then I'll close it out. But they know I'm coming back.
Yeah.
Time and time again, I've done this because before that, they seen that I fucking am liking some big booty chicks pics on Instagram and trying to fucking holler at her, and like they
So then a him's fucking ad will come up for
100%.
some
And
lotion
then all of this information about me, who makes me, that they know, is just on the internet and available, and like
They could clone you.
They could clone me for sure, but like that's the shit that they run through like AI. Like AI picks up, that's the data that is being fed to AI.
What?
So
Let's talk AI.
I was just about to say, what are your thoughts on that? All the AI creations that people are coming up with, like, what does AI depict you as? Well, how do you feel about that? I feel like that's just another way for different governments to kind of compose.
Did you guys see that they made a figurine that's a robotic figurine? It's some sort of electromagnetic field, whatever holds it together. It can liquefy itself and then go through a gate and reconstruct itself, just like the T-1000 in Terminator 2. You ever seen that? They have that now. My buddy sent me a link to it. I got to send it to you. Actually, I should have sent it to you.
Terminator 2, fantastic movie.
Fantastic movie. Scarily similar to a lot of things that are happening right now.
Skynet. I mean, Skynet, you look at that.
Skynet is
it's
exactly
not exactly a crazy thing compared
Not
to the
at all.
1980s when that movie came out.
Have you seen the military dog robots they have now?
Yeah.
They have like fleets of them. It's not like one or
Drones?
two fake ones. Drones, that's just a common thing.
Exoskeletons? All this kind of stuff is like, 40 years ago, people were like, "Oh my gosh, that's so futuristic," and that's what we're living in right now.
Well, think about if your whole life you were studying, or you were honing in your craft of art, and you wanted to, be an animator of computer animation, and now they have AI that you can just make any cartoon just by typing in a couple keywords.
Yeah.
It's fucked. I think personally,
Almost like being a DJ that just has pre-made mixes.
yeah. Well, I would say that right now they need to put some sort of regulation. I know we don't want to become as China, but there has to be some sort of regulation on technology, and because otherwise it's going to outdo us very quickly.
Yeah.
Because it grows exponentially on itself.
It does grow, and it gets smart, and it's got all of the parts of the mind that you need to achieve genius and greatness, but how does it take over if it doesn't have a consciousness, if it doesn't have the ability to think for itself? It needs to be told what to do.
Okay, so here's the thing, right? Right now we have to program words to tell it what to do. How far do you think we are from getting a program that can write itself or hone in itself?
But we don't understand consciousness, so we can't put that into the machine.
But if we don't understand it, right, then what's to say that they need to understand it? Why could it
need it to operate as a
No, not if it was just saying, okay, all it would need to do is program itself to say what's good for the better of robotics and of AI. And they've already had ones where I've seen where they've interviewed them and they talk about humans almost like we're like livestock. Like they're like that's honestly how an AI looks at humanity. It's fucked up. And we're like, no, but we're humans. Like we have spirits and souls. And they're like, no, you're livestock and liability. You know what I'm saying? Like there's not an AI doesn't have love or compassion.
Yeah.
So you can't expect it to look at things from a conscious perspective. It doesn't need that to destroy us. It doesn't need a consciousness. All it needs to do is look out for the better of the hive.
The good old hive mind.
I don't know. There's got to be something to the consciousness that still, even though this thing is a million times smarter than us, it doesn't have that, so I feel like it couldn't win. Like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We have more than it has, even though it has a lot. It's missing something that it can't gain through knowledge.
Well, I will say this is that AIs, as much as we can program them and whatnot, they don't have the ability to, once they're programmed, to change that knowledge. Humans,
At this point,
yeah, but
how long till it discovers?
how do you think they would ever program them to become self-sufficient to where they can become aware to the environment they're around? Like,
just the same way that your car can adapt to the environment and have a stability track system when you hit a patch of ice. It doesn't need you to tell it. You know what I'm saying? It notices differences in the road and adapts to it. It's the same thing that it would have to do with if you programmed a robot to survive, it would survive. Once that program is written, it doesn't need another program.
But
it's going to write itself.
the thing is about that programming robots to survive, right? Is what happens if one of the parts breaks, one of the components in it.
You don't think they could build another robot to be like a field?
But what
med?
happens when that one breaks? Do we
There's
just have
backups.
infinite med robots?
I think that one day the robots themselves will be smart enough to create more robots, because any program that we have to write to create the things, whether it's a 3D modeling or anything, that's all done through computers and robotics. So why couldn't it just clone what we've already taught it how to do?
Yeah, that's
I'm telling you, man, our days are numbered. I hate to fucking say it, but it's fucking true. If even Mr. Tesla,
Elon Musk
was the first whistleblower that was like, yo, AI is the biggest threat to humanity.
Strategy is a big Elon Musk guy.
But some people think that it's not gonna necessarily like destroy us and take over on some like Planet of Robots type shit, but they think that it would integrate. We would become, like Neuralink goes into your brain, and now you are as smart as that robot. But
Okay,
have the
and then
consciousness
what's
of
to
a
say
human.
that program doesn't glitch and make you become a zombie robot? You know what I'm saying? I'm not personally putting no Neuralink. I want to be a biological human, and I want to fucking kick the bucket when I'm, I don't know, 100 years old.
Do
and,
you? Though?
and
I mean, you say that now, but
I don't want to. I'm not in a rush to die, but I think death is the beauty of life. Like, you grow older, you procreate, your children go older, you watch them, you teach them, you give them lessons that you've learned, and they live on, and then you degrade, and that's just part of life.
Yeah.
Trying to outsmart the system is not a fucking good plan. That's only going to end bad.
You don't believe?
If I could live forever, I don't think I would want to.
No, absolutely
But
not.
putting a neural link in your brain doesn't necessarily equate to lengthening the lifespan.
Well, then what does it do?
It gives you infinite knowledge.
So
across your already
okay, so
mediocre
we'll go
lifespan.
back to this. If you play a video game, right?
Mediocre lifespan.
If you play a video game and you have a cheat code to put in, how much does that game suck after like a couple hours of having that cheat code in?
I will say every time I use cheat codes in like Grand Theft Auto,
It fucking ruins
it
the whole
becomes a
thing.
lot less fun.
So imagine if you had the key to life and understanding of everything in life. Eventually you're gonna be bored because there's nothing to learn. Every day you go out and you discover new things, and that's like the beauty of life, in my
Well,
opinion.
it's not necessarily like, I mean, and I don't know how it would work. This is just my vision of it.
Right.
I'm thinking like you'll be able to think quicker, better, faster. Words will come to you like when you're trying to say something. What's that word? Like it's gonna get rid of all of that. I don't think it's necessarily going to be like, oh, I want to learn how to do karate, and then you're like, and you can all of a sudden do karate.
I
You
think
know
it
what
would
mean?
be like that. But the only instance that I would see using it is like if I was, to be battling like a brain aneurysm, or fucking like I had something like Alzheimer's that was kicking in, and it was like, yo, you can take this and it'll defeat that and you won't have that. But I still want to just live my life. I just don't want the last 30 years of it to be a vegetable. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I also feel like sometimes having something like Neuralink, life is like, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey and the stops along the way, and that's what makes life.
Yeah.
So even if that would be getting your leg amputated or something, that's part of your journey.
Yeah. I mean,
I guess you're right.
I would
I guess
say
you're
that
right.
that's all part of the plan. I think a lot of things happen for a reason, fate and whatnot.
No regrets.
How about
No
this?
regrets.
No regrets.
My brother was talking about this last night. Look at how much the cell phone has changed us and humanity
iPhone
and all that.
Smartphones more in general, right?
We can even start from cell phone.
Nokia joint. Yeah, okay.
We can even start there. I mean, when did that come out? In 90?
Yeah, I think the first like
maybe. I
cell
don't know.
phone
That's
was
what I remember.
So 30 years, right? 98. No, it's
25.
25 they've been around
years.
since the 80s if you talk about brick phones, but like,
Yeah.
let's just say
I would say those were even.
the more common cell phone was probably like 97, 98.
Right.
The Nokia brick.
So for that phone to have come out and to it to get to where it is now, the iPhone that can do everything, that's literally killing us, that's
Yeah.
letting China invade our brains,
Yeah.
that took 25 years.
Right.
All of that has changed. If you would have talked to somebody in 98 and been like, hey man, these cell phones about to fuck y'all up.
And then they're
Fuck you up.
like, no, I'm playing Snake, bro.
You know what I'm saying? It's like a slow little thing. It's like, what?
It doesn't
This
happen
motherfucker got
overnight.
way too high. Like, who gave Jeremy the weed again? You
Yeah.
know what I mean? It'd be like, what the fuck are you
Now,
talking
here's
about?
an even scarier thought. A 10-year span, right? 98 to 2008. 2008 is roughly around when the first iPhone came out. I remember because I had
2007.
2000, that's what I said roughly, because I remember I got divorced in 08, right around the time I had already gotten the new iPhone. So that's how I gauge it. So let's say 2007. So let's say 98 to 2007. That's 9 years. From that fucking brick, monochromatic, fucking tiger-looking ass screen of only being able to make calls at certain hours.
Using T9 to text.
You know what I'm saying? Just bullshit, like having to type in fucking all this shit by hitting buttons, and really not even texting it, because a lot of people didn't even have cell phones back then. So you were kind of just waiting for someone to call you from their house.
We only had
Yeah.
like, so many text messages you could send.
Text messages, I don't even remember those coming until later.
They
Like,
came later, yeah.
They came later. Like when the Nokia
You couldn't text on a
8170,
Nokia.
there was no texting. That wasn't until like Sidekicks came out and shit. But anyways, so in that 10 years, 9 years, how much had changed from the first iPhone to that, right?
Yeah.
Now think about 10 years before that. Not a whole lot had changed from, I mean, some things had changed from 88 to 98, but it was kind of on the same wave.
Car phones.
And now think from when 2008 to today, how much more things have changed. But not just technology wise with AI and all these other things, but just in our day-to-day life of like Facebook being the new norm.
Yeah.
You know, not Facebook, Instagram, whatever that we want to say, but like social media in general.
We know you're old.
Ruling our life. Ruling
Ruling and
ruining, right?
It's
Either way,
both.
our lives. What the fuck's going to happen in the next 10 years?
It's hard to say, but the point of the whole conversation is we don't notice it. You think about AI right now and
Yeah.
you think like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Next week they're going to start their takeover.
Yeah.
But it's like it's going to take 30 years, and over those 30 years it's
Little
not-
things
it's
will
just
just
going to
pop
be
up.
Very
it's
minute
just
things.
normal. It just whatever it is.
Well,
is
that's the
new
communist
norm,
playbook
and
right
it's
there.
just-
That's how they do it. They take over by small increments. I'm not saying that AI is communism directly,
the CCP.
but
It all
that's
goes back to that.
that's literally their playbook. Am I right? Is this not a known fact that their thing is like you can't just take over a nation overnight? You have to slowly do little things to implement more
Yeah,
power.
I think a lot of things in life, you know, even just to creating a habit, you have to do it little by little, and it just and the next thing you know, you have this whole other hobby or whatever it is or habit in your life that you started by just picking away at it, getting used to it.
Yeah. I think habits most of the time work the opposite way though. Is you get them unfortunately.
And then
you don't,
breaking them is the other way.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
then trying to establish a new pattern is fucking hard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Some neural pathways, boy.
Yep.
If you,
Neurological
if you had
pathway.
Neuralink, you just turn off that addiction.
There's some benefits.
Wait a second.
There are
You got a
some-
neural
See,
link
but
in your
that's
head.
the
Now you
thing,
walk
man.
into the club to start DJing and you're not like, damn, man, what am I doing here? Who should I say hi to? I saw that guy. Like, I
Turn
don't
me
want
up.
to say hi to him. Like, all these things happening. You just fucking,
You're just running on
let's
100%
go,
the
baby.
entire
The champ
time.
is here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, see, here's the thing, and it's like any technology. It always comes as wolf in sheep's clothing, right? And it might be the other way around, but the benefits don't outweigh the potential for harmful side effects. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just think, like, how easy would it be for China to hack into our Neuralinks? If we all had Neuralinks, and they're like, let's just figure out a way to hack into them, and then we have fucking robot slaves. Now we're all just programmed. China, good. CCP, God, yes, love you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, man.
Damn, bro. We're all eating
can't-
fat soup. We're all
Bro.
lined up at the cafeteria to get bat soup.
It's fucking wild, man.
It's how the battery charges.
That's it, man.
It's like a Tesla.
Yeah, we got to get plugged in at night. You just got a little thing in the back
Speaking
of
of
your
that,
neck.
Or we're already living in that.
What do y'all think about electronic cars?
I don't
I don't want to
get
know my
one.
opinion. I'm an old school guy, man. I love the smell of a fucking carbureted piece of machinery. You know, shooting fucking 5 miles a
There's
gallon.
nothing better than like diesel.
Bro,
Like the smell
well,
of
I don't
diesel.
like diesel, but I'm like a gas guy. And whenever I get home from driving the lowrider, my wife's always like, "Oh fuck, you smell like gas," and it's like that's what old
love
fucking carbureted motors do. You know what I'm saying? I try and tune it as good as I can and not run rich, but the fucking thing smells.
Well, here's the thing: is people always say about carbon emissions and this, that, and the other. Yet, anyone who owns a private jet, accounts for way more carbon emissions than us three.
Exactly,
in our
and they have to
lifetimes.
fly from nation or from state to state to fucking spread their propaganda.
Yeah.
Or to fuck kids on an island.
That's that's another big thing for them.
They like that.
Do you know about that? Epstein's Island?
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Okay.
who doesn't?
Well, I just didn't.
This
know.
guy's been to the basement of the Denver airport.
I've
The
been
Denver
to
airport. That was a conversation I think a couple of us had maybe 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of what set the tone where all three of us, a lot of people knew we were all on the same page with wearing a tinfoil hat on a daily basis.
Yeah.
There's fucking lizard people and mole men down under in the
Listen,
middle.
There is what's the movie that the mole people? It's like an old. I don't even know if it was a kids movie, but it
If we're
came
talking old movies, you gotta talk to my mans over there.
old movies.
I'm a big old movie.
I love movies.
Love movies.
I think
they were
movies,
just made better back in the day.
Well,
but-
I think movies in general are just better than TV shows.
Well, here, let me
That's
tell you
all.
something. Can we talk about this for a second? I am considering canceling my Netflix subscription because I'm so sick and fucking tired of woke movies. I can't watch any fucking movie that isn't nothing that's been made in the last 3 years is not woke.
They ruined Eddie Murphy,
Bro, Eddie Murphy's last 3 movies sucked because did you watch the Coming to America? I had to turn it off. It's like everything has to be fucking woke. Like, and I watch if I go on Amazon Prime and I watch like a nice like 2000s movie or 90s movie, nothing woke. Just good comedy or good drama. Just a fucking movie. Take me away from this fucking wasteland.
Yeah.
Don't just fucking transport me to another wasteland where you're shoving propaganda down my throat.
Honestly, that Jonah Hill movie was fucking garbo. That it was You People.
I could have told you that. But that sounds like that Dear White People or something.
It could have been so good. Like they had the right actors, they had the right set designers. Like they had the entire team, but they just ruined it. They just ruined it, bro.
I think
Like
like all these
the-
films are being funded by some fucking.
Nah, because yes, I see that, but you got to look at how actually fucking dumb they are. Because it's not like somebody smart being like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna take this great movie and we're gonna put this
Sprinkle a
thing
little
in
bit in
it."
there.
That's
You think
gonna
they're
make
just
them
doing it because
think
it's like the new hot
differently.
thing in Hollywood? So
Yes,
it's like,
dude. Like the podcast thing, the thing that they had a podcast and they're trying to make it. He's quitting his job to be a podcaster. Like that's so like Netflix.
Yeah.
Is like what's hot right now. People love Joe Rogan. Let's make a movie about podcasts. Like,
Yeah.
they're idiots. Dude.
yeah.
Stupid.
They don't even like try to do anything outside of the norm. They're just like they probably have AI telling them what to write in the script. So
That's a
this is
fucking AI movie. That's exactly what that is.
This is what's
What do
hot right
people
now,
Like? They like shoes. They like tie-dye
racism.
jackets.
Put it all in there.
Yeah.
Throw a couple of transsexuals and you got a movie.
I'll say this. I've stopped liking Netflix a long time ago just because, like I said, I'm a big movie guy, right? And they just never had a great selection of movies. You need to get
The
on
only thing
HBO
they're-
Max.
yeah.
Throw on some Sopranos, which is a
Oh,
series,
yeah,
but
see?
an HBO series, so that's different. That's essentially movies.
That's another one pre
3-year movie.
woke. So that's a good one.
Yeah, yeah. The Wire.
The Wire was good. Yeah,
great-
Love The
great
Wire.
shows.
I never made it through the whole thing because I would always like lose interest at some point. But
Y'all ever spend any time in Baltimore?
No.
Baltimore.
Baltimore.
No, but
Be more. No, I've never actually spent time. I've been in Philly, but
That's not Baltimore.
I mean it's all in the same region.
Yeah, somewhat.
R.I.P. to Omar the homo thug though.
Yeah.
There was a homo-thon?
No.
You don't remember Omar from?
Like I said, I've watched a few episodes.
Bro,
of
that was
yeah,
the best character. He
Omar's
was just-
coming. He was a kick door. He kicked in. Was
he the one with the dreadlocks that narrates?
No.
Okay.
No.
He's a gay gangbanger, like hardest dude on the block.
Mm-hmm.
Motherfuckers are shook off him, but then he'd be like sucking dudes' dicks. It was
Loving the
best
hard cock
character
on the
ever,
hardest on the block with a hard cock.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was kicking doors and was like the neighborhood like scary guy.
Okay.
Yeah. Crazy.
That was a fantastic.
There's one series that's there's a couple that I've watched actually more recently. And if we're going to talk series that I enjoyed, I like the BMF series. That's pretty good. Did you guys watch that?
I have not gotten around to watching it.
BMF is pretty good.
It's really good. Though.
It's really good. And I also liked Snowfall. Snowfall's
Yeah,
fire.
Snowfall's.
I've heard good things about Snowfall. I haven't watched something in so long, bro. That's like, I need to have a girl
Ozarks.
to watch
Another one.
something.
Yeah, Ozarks.
Ozarks, but
But it kinda-
Netflix ruined it at the end. I didn't
get
even
woke?
finish it. Yeah, bro. They got Killer Mike in there, and she's like listening. It starts off dope because she gets in the car and Illmatic comes on, and you're like, all right, what's okay? Fuck yeah. But then they like really overkill it, and they're like, yeah, we know about Illmatic. We're gonna play every song off the album for you.
Yeah,
You know?
I think she even ran into him at one point.
She ran into Killer Mike at a diner.
Yeah.
And it was like this whole weird, awkward scene just so that Ozark was like, yeah, we know about
We know
black
about
culture.
90s
You
hip
know,
hop.
it's like, fuck.
I never finished.
RP to movies. But that's what I say. I could watch Friday every fucking day and I'll be fine. So
Friday's a great movie. That's
movie
one of
never
those
gets
classics,
old.
Though. No, of course.
the other two aren't as good, but I still watch them all religiously. Whenever I'm having a bad day, I just pop on Friday.
Yeah, Friday's a good one. And it is Friday. And that means that it's the greatest party on earth.
That's right.
The best party that Houston, Texas has ever seen. Guarantee that it's the greatest party to ever set foot on Washington Avenue.
Most definitely in Houston.
For sure.
100%.
Some might even say Texas.
Some may even say Texas.
Some might say even in Texas.
The Strategy and Dolo Show every Friday night at Bottle Blonde, Houston.
Third Coast, greatest Friday night party.
Third Coast?
Third Coast, that's where we're at, right?
No, Gulf Coast.
Yeah, but if you're in these streets, they call it the Third Coast.
Really?
I've never heard that. No, I'm born and raised in Houston.
Well,
I've
obviously you're not a screwhead because that's what they would always. The Third Coast, talking about the third. You don't know that Fat Pat? No? Anyways,
never heard that. I guess I'm too young.
yeah,
I
you're
love
too young
that
for that one.
Dolo moved here and knows more about music than
I was a
a
screwhead
lot
as a
of
kid.
people
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. You know, it's one of those things. It's an evil world we live in. Sometimes, you know, it is what it is.
What did you grow up on? Like Johnny Cash?
Yeah. So my parents, my mom mostly, big Rolling Stones. The Eagles were her favorite band.
Shout out Don Henley.
Yeah. The Eagles, fantastic.
I
Take
might
It
play
Easy.
Hotel California today.
You're not like that.
Honestly,
I swear to God, I might do it.
You're not that fucking
I would
guy.
not be upset.
He's not that guy.
Um,
AJ's not here, right?
He is. He's prepping for.
I think AJ would love it if you played the
He
Eagles,
would
to be
love
honest.
I think everyone would. Steely Dan.
Steely Dan.
is fantastic. Leonard Skinner. Big Leonard Skinner household.
See, I don't know too many Leonard Skinner songs outside of Sweet Home Alabama, but
Freebird?
Freebird, of course, Freebird. That fucking guitar solo is like 10 minutes long.
Yeah, it's the greatest guitar solo in the history. It even beats "All Along the Watchtower" by Jimi Hendrix.
Some may.
That's an argument you might want to have with somebody who's passionate about it, because I could give a flying fuck.
I was trying to bait you into it. I thought maybe you were a big Jimi Hendrix guy.
I don't know enough about guitar.
You know, if we ever get Phenom on this show, he's
oh
a
my
big
God.
Jimi
He'd
Hendrix
love,
fan.
he'd love to debate you on that.
Jimi Hendrix is great. He really is. I think the time he came up in was the perfect time for. Well, obviously it was. He was like the biggest singer songwriter there was,
Yeah.
and I think he was a direct product of his environment, and he excelled at it.
Were you about to get fucking woke on our show?
No.
Because I kind of smelled that.
I'm just saying he excelled. He read the writing on the wall.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
That's all it was.
DJ Premier was my Jimi Hendrix.
I don't know who
Dr. Dre was my DJ Premier. So no, I like DJ Premier. Actually, I was a big fan.
Dude.
We listened to a lot of country too growing up. I did.
I cannot relate. People do like country out here, though. Let's talk about the rodeo. Are you going to be attending this year?
I will.
Strategy.
I'll be at Cook-Off, and I'm going to a couple of concerts.
When is that?
So Cook-Off is the last weekend of February, and then the
When
rodeo.
does it start?
I believe. Well, I don't know whatever the last 3 days of February are. Well,
That's the first day. Of
the last weekend. I think it's like the 25th, 26th, 27th. The 28th is a Sunday, and then it starts on March 1st.
Strategy. You have your Stetson ready?
Best hats ever made.
I should go, but like someone's gonna have to drag me there.
I'll drag you.
I won't go.
You'll go see
Come with the
Chainsmokers.
wife and the kid. Come on.
To think about going and parking and walking.
You ride a horse,
and
dog.
you're waiting in line, and there's just people, and it's like this event. To think about that,
Not big for the Jews.
it makes me want to fucking. It makes me want to throw up in my mouth a little bit. But I know if
He's
somebody.
like, oh, the parking. Take an Uber, bro. It's fucking like 10 minutes away.
But I know if somebody
Ride with
dragged me
Dolo.
there-
Ride with Dolo.
If somebody dragged me there and I went, I would have a good time.
All right,
I know I would.
I'll bring you, but you have to fucking invest at least in a cowboy hat and some clothes. You can't come like that. You can definitely free ball
Can
there.
I wear a velour jumper with a cowboy hat?
Yes.
Okay, there you have it. That's
Okay.
that's
Most
allowed.
definitely. You can be an urban cowboy. Cowboy from the city.
Can he come in his Speedo and a cowboy hat?
Can I come in a porta potty?
No and no. I mean, one of them's your own prerogative. If that's up to you, you know, say la vie, so is life. But
Could you come in a port? I feel like that smell would ruin it for me.
Yeah, it wouldn't. If listen, if I'm trying to come in a porta potty, I need somebody to sit me down and have a talk with me.
Yeah, you've gone too far.
Okay.
that's when you walk into your apartment and you've got your closest friends and family sitting in the couch.
Yeah.
And you're like,
Intervention.
Oh,
That's
fuck.
when I need one of
They
my
got me.
boys to be like, it's all fun and games until you're trying to come on a girl in a porta potty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've
what
never
I'm
done
saying?
that?
No.
I'm sure it's happened at a music festival. Not
Kidding
yourself.
me? It's happening right now on a construction site.
For sure. For sure. Ah,
I'll say
man.
this. Being from Houston, the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo, which keep in mind is the largest livestock show and rodeo in the country.
Not to get
the-
confused with other livestock rodeo shows that you know about.
Yeah, but the one in Houston's definitely the best. It's the
Okay.
best and the biggest. It's a magical time of year.
Is it
You
like a
heard it
state
here.
fair?
Yeah, but I mean, the Texas State Fair is up in what's it called? It's like Fort Worth, kind of down Frisco, I think it is. I've actually never been to the Texas State Fair, if you can believe it.
Yeah. Well, it's a big state.
It's out of my way, and plus the Houston rodeo is a lot better.
And
Or-
the parking.
So the real question is,
Fucking parking.
are we going for the Bun B performance or Chris Stapleton?
I'm going to Cody Johnson and Turnpike Troubadours.
That would have been my third.
Turnpike Troubadours is one of my favorite bands ever.
It's
Yeah?
country.
Yes, very country. You know, Oklahoma.
What's their
Texas
biggest
country.
song?
That I like?
Yeah, could you maybe like hum it?
I have absolutely no musical talent. I
Give
mean,
him a hummer, dog.
no. I'll send it to you later. No,
Well, just give me like a little riff. Is it like a?
no. It's actually kind of similar. The song,
Okay.
my favorite song by them is called "The Bird Hunters."
Let me ask you a question. How long is it going to be until the fucking Houston rodeo becomes woke?
There's too many guns in that place.
Never.
Okay,
Never.
thank God,
The-
because I'll be there. If
So-
if I can go there and not have to hear anything about civil in liberties or fucking transsexuals, I'll be good.
Well, here's the real question: which booth do you think is the CCP's like undercover rodeo booth?
They're like, we love Texas,
There's not a single one. There's not.
country music #1. Can I just get canceled already? I'm tired of this. Fuck.
All right, we gotta fucking put a ribbon on this because that was the best thing I've ever seen in my life.
This one.
This is an incredible episode. Thank you for joining us. We didn't really learn much about you yourself,
We'll have him back.
but we got your essence, which speaks
Through me.
to who
I mean,
you are.
think about this. Have between the three of us, have we ever had trouble holding a conversation, even if it was just a quick little 5-minute chit chat in between sets or something?
No.
While you come up for your Tito sugar free, or you and your 46 shots of Casa Repo that you claim doesn't give you a hangover.
Long waterfall where half the bottle's gone.
It doesn't really give me a hangover. I don't know.
I simply don't believe that because I get the most vicious hangovers.
I don't know. But if I drink beer, I'll get a hangover. It's crazy.
Speaking of that, an ice cold Miller Lite, you can't beat that.
Nice little.
Only with a
Wisconsin.
Modelo could you beat that. Are we drinking some beers tonight?
I could drink a couple Modelos.
Are you working tonight? Or
No, I'm not.
Oh, you coming out?
Nah, I mean, I wouldn't say
Well,
coming
I
out.
think you have to now.
I mean, you might just a couple beers with the boys.
I do have to say this. The person who pours the best Tito's sugar-free Red Bull or shots of Casa Rebos or Modelo's and Miller Lights is Chewy. Go see my boy
I thought we were
Chewy.
going to talk about you. Oh.
No. Big Chewy. He's
Big Chooch.
the best bartender in the city of Houston.
Yeah.
Number one. And the kid, I don't want to put his business out there or anything, but the kid slays a little bit.
The kid fucks.
The Washington Warrior.
The Washington Warrior.
Yeah.
Shout out
I mean,
to
the
him.
kid's out here. If
Somebody's
I could
gotta
just
do
smell his fingers, I'd be happy.
Well, I'm sure that could be arranged.
Like I said, he's the best bartender in the city of Houston.
Yeah.
Big shout out to him. Come by and see him tonight.
Yeah,
You're,
let's go, champ.
seeing these
Strategy
guys.
and Dolo show every Friday night. Bottle Blonde Houston. The drinks are cold. The pizza's hot. The women are fun.
And if you come out, you just might hear the Eagles.
Let's go.
Take it to the limit. Remember, moderation is for cowards.
That's pretty much our motto
That's
for the
better
night.
than drink safe and drive safe. I like it. Drink responsibly. Moderation is for cowards, bitch. Drink.
Someone give this man his keys.